Hello, Karis Brown Malloy here, and this is the Starseed vlog for October 16th, 2011. Today I'm going to talk to you about coming out of pack mentality, one of the ways that we're doing this, which is part of the old animalistic human experience, but I'll come back to that. Meditation and getting into the heart center. A couple people have asked me about those topics, so I want to get into them too. So what's been going on? I don't know, it's kind of been moving along. I've pretty much been diving into writing Instruction of a Starseed, which has gone faster and slower than I would have liked. I guess that's always how it happens when you're birthing something like that. So it's going to be out November 11th, and I'm going to set up a pre-order option on its website, which will be instructionofastarseed.com. And the way it's going to work is the first 111 copies sold will come from me, and I'll personalize them and autograph them, whatever, sign them. I don't really like using the frame autograph. Anyway, phrase, not the frame. So, moving on, I will send them to you myself. I'll put the link on the website. They will cost either $25 if you're in the United States or $28 if you're out of the United States, just because of shipping. And that will be that. So I'll put all the links down below because I'm just setting that up today. Anyway, so let's get into the pack consciousness. Every morning, my husband, Terrence, and I watch inspirational videos or listen to stuff while we're having breakfast. And this week, we were listening to one of the classes, I guess, done by Eckhart Tolle and Oprah on Eckhart Tolle's work, which is that present moment, now living stuff. And they were talking about going into a group of people and sizing everyone up and seeing how you stand in the group, which is what naturally happens a lot of times when you're in a group of people. And I had this great big aha moment as a result of that. Aha moment is a really overused phrase, but sometimes it just says what you mean to say it. That's what this was, because it wasn't exactly a download, it was more a realization. And this is it. You've got the old animalistic humans, which is what we've been so long. And then you've got the newer divine humans, which is what we're becoming. And when you go into a group of people and you size everyone up who's there, deciding where you are in whatever hierarchy you're labeling everyone as, which often adjusts depending on who you're with and what you're doing, then this is how animals, mammals, decide where they belong in the pack. And that's how animalistic humans did it too, back in the days of stealing energy from each other and that being how we survived, which was important. It was part of the process, but now we're coming out of it. So divine humans, once we realize that we're part of all of creation and the God consciousness lives within each of us, can go into a group of people and not need to compare yourself to anyone because you have your gifts, they have their gifts, it's all good. It's a really simple thing. Just remember that you are not the comparison, the sizing up, because no one can really be compared to anyone else, because we all have different hardware, we all have different software, we all have different experiences to shape us as well. So, and we all have different paths that we're going on to growth, and they don't all happen the same way, which is why, for instance, some of these videos do not matter at all to people, and some people love them. That's okay. That's because they resonate on a helpful frequency for some, but not for everyone. Alright, so that was pack consciousness, and this week's, I guess, tip for becoming more divine, remembering your divinity. I don't know. Anyway, the other things, meditation and heart-centered consciousness. Alright, the way that I meditate and the way that I would encourage everyone else to meditate is to first just work on your breathing and your presence in normal moving life, everyday, mundane stuff. Just feel what your hands feel what your feet feel your air coming and going, and get used to that consciousness of not always being somewhere else, being where you are, and that will help with the meditation. And then when you go into a meditation, sit and breathe for a while, feel your body, and then start to focus on your chakras. And I've already explained the chakra system, so you can go back to that video if you want, or you can just search it on the internet and you'll find tons of stuff. And focus on each chakra, imagine their color, imagine them being healthy and pulsing and having the energy come and go as it's supposed to. And then after that's done, after you have all your chakras fully illuminated with the light that you just bring into them, then just imagine this egg of white light around you, and make it really strong, make it really thick, make it spread out and cover the whole world if you like, and then just ask questions, address them to your own higher self, because this is how it works. We have each of our souls that are huge, and then we've got each of our bodies, which are small. And the way that I think about it is you have this big container of water, which is the soul, and then you have these little beakers, which are the bodies, and you're always pouring so much of the soul into the body that can fit. And then as you clear out your energy system, and as you remember that fear is not the basis for actually moving forward in the world, then you will see that your beaker gets cleaner and it gets bigger, so more of your soul can actually fit. And that's when you can become more present, and that's when your power of manifestation gets really fast. But also, love is what powers that, which I'll get to in a second. So, your soul is able to fit more of your body as you get yourself cleaner and more aware, and more of a divine, true human, which is what we're going into. And once you realize that, then when you're in that still space after you've put up the white light in your meditation, you can address questions to your soul or to your higher self or to your connection with the divine, and you'll get the answers. It'll be weird at first, and it might not work at first, but practice will make it happen. Eventually you'll be able to do it. And also research different types of meditation, because different types work for different people. And so there really isn't one, this is how you meditate. But moving on to the heart chakra, that's a really important part, and I know some people have problems opening up their heart chakra. First of all, it's a physical sensation. You just look right behind your sternum in the center of your chest and just feel it's kind of a liquid warmth that's there, and it might be really small and it might be really subtle, but once you start focusing on it and kind of relaxing your body around it, it gets bigger and it gets more intense. And eventually you'll be able to move your consciousness down, and rather than think with the words of your brain, you can feel with the feeling of your heart, which actually is more accurate, and it has all of these information channels available to it that the brain doesn't have, because the brain's kind of sectioned off and is supposed to work in concert with the heart. So once you are able to maintain the heart-centered awareness, try an hour of just maintaining that awareness. Try a day, try a week, and what you'll then find out is the decisions you make that you don't know why you make them, your heart's just telling you to do something or not to do something and you don't really know why, will end up being exactly the right thing, and you will have been at the right place at the right time, because your heart has that greater awareness of what is actually happening around you than your brain does, because it's quarantined out. So one other thing about bringing in the heart energy, for people who have problems feeling it, think about something that you love, not romantic love, because that has its own knots tied up around it, but think about something that you are really loving unconditionally, like a child, like a pet, something like that. So that will help, and then just you can overlay that feeling onto your current world. But my ride's here, so I have to go. Have a great week, go in peace, be who you are, and I'll talk to you next week.